करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
रामाय रामभद्राय रामचंद्राय वेदसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीताय पतये नमः। मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं वानरयूथमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शिरसा नमामि। On the auspicious occasion of Sri Ramanavami, we bow down in all reverence, respect and surrender to the supremest of all gods, supremest of all heroes, supremest of all men. That's Lord Sri Rama. Till the time universe will exist, till such time Lord Rama's glory, Ramayana, is going to exist. He is just not a avatara and a god for a few set of people in India who we may call ourselves as Hindus, but he is a person who sets an example for the whole universe. He is a universal hero. We cannot merely confine him to just ourselves like this, because the essence of Ramayana, or for which the Kavya was written, it has a purpose. It has a purpose. The Ramayana starts with the question of Valmiki to Narada Maharishi as to who is the one who is having all these qualities, and he gives a list of qualities: Gunavan, Viryavan, etc., who is Atmavan, who is self-realized, who has absolute control over anger, who is full of qualities, who is full of warriorship, who is full of pleasantness. Or he gives a list of qualities. Who can be a person like this? And Narada adds many more qualities to that, and he says that person is there as the king of Ayodhya now. So the whole essence, we can say, of the Kavya of Ramayana is the experience or anubhava of gunas of Rama. Ramayana is not a biography of Lord Rama. You can say about the great Mahabharata that it is an encyclopedia. It is correct. What is not given in Mahabharata is not found anywhere else. And what is found anywhere else is definitely found in Mahabharata. Mahabharata is a very all-pervading and complete text. It is also Itihasa, but it is a very, very complete text. Even if you say the main story of Mahabharata, which is the story of the Pandavas and Kauravas, the great-great-grandparent of them, which is King Shantanu, that's where we see the story starts. Even in Mahabharata serial it starts. That comes much later in Adi Parva. That means so many things are covered. We have heard that Janamejaya's Yajna is there, and in Yajna he made the snakes fall into the Homa Kund. That is where the story starts. See, the Mahabharata is Vaishampanaya's narration of the story to Janamejaya. Janamejaya is a son of Parikshit, and he is he is very angry that Takshaka, the serpent king, killed his father. So he does a yajna where all the serpents are brought and they are supposed to fall into the fire. So all the list of the names of the serpents, all these are given in detail. So Mahabharata goes into each and every detail of each and every episode, interwinding stories, one connecting to another. So 1 lakh verses also is maybe less only as far as Mahabharata is concerned. And then Krishna comes much later in the story, though we can say he is like the hero. Ramayana is not like that. Very straightforward. But though this story revolves around Rama, it cannot be called as a biography of Rama, because Adi Kavi Valmiki is a very expert, we can say, very expert cameraman who has captured all the essential things wherever it needs to be paused and it should be shown in slow motion. He does that. Wherever he will switch off the camera and let the function pass, you imagine a cameraman coming to your marriage, and the marriage happens for, let us say, 24 hours, I mean including all the function. You are not going to have a video cassette of 24 hours. Even people, when the concept of video camera came and they shot the this thing for marriage for 3 hours and all, people don't have patience to watch. Even I'm talking about the same bride and groom also, not about it. They will say to watch others and all. They very difficult. Even in album, when they say in those days thick album will be there, they only say where the group photo is there, where I am there. That's all. I have to see only that. It is very, so that cameraman doesn't capture everything. But expert cameraman knows which are the very essential thing. And suppose if the climax is there, that particular function is there, that particular ceremony is there, that he will go into detail from all angles, he will cover that. So we see that, of course, Balakanda is the story of the Rama in his childhood. Okay. And up to the stage of his marriage, it is there around 12 years. But you will find it also moving fast. And other stories are given there. Ayodhya Kanda is after marriage, another 12 years or so. But you will find the story is actually like 2.5 months or something, where you will find how Rama's coronation is arranged. And then Dasharatha, he gives boon to Kaikeyi. Those are the episodes. Then Bharata comes. And then Bharata is very, very upset and he goes and surrenders in Chitrakoot, etc. If you see the whole episode, it is like that. Though the gunas of Rama are there in explanation, you don't find the episode of each and everything that happened step by step. Not like Aranyakanda is another, maybe another 12 years. After 14 years, 12 years, he is talking about that. It just passes like that. Whatever is the essential there, it comes. Surpanaka's episode, another thing comes. After Surpanaka's episode, after she went and complained to Kara and Dushna came and they were killed, and then she went to Ravana. After that, where is the trace of Surpanaka? What happened to her? Valmiki is not interested. And we are also not interested. So that means what? Where she comes, whatever is the essential thing, that alone is captured here. Kishkinda Kanda, maybe another 5.5 months of the period of Sugriva slaying Vali, and then the rainy season, like that it is. And then comes the most important of all kandas, that is Sundara Kanda. Sundara Kanda, the whole thing is only 1 day. Maximum 1.5 days, 1 day only. Hanuman goes, finishes his search, and comes back. That is given in the greatest detail actually. So slow motion camera runs there only. Each and every detail is to the extreme detail there. And Sundara Kanda is like a kavya within the kavya. Yuddha Kanda is, of course, remaining 1 month, and the major thing is the war, and then how Sita's pravesha into the fire, and then they come back, and Rama's coronation. Finished. All those are also, the sargas may be more, but Sundara Kanda, the story of 1 day, is explained in detail in 68 chapters, 68 Kanda. That means you can see how much Valmiki has given importance to Sundara Kanda. Probably Ramayana is the only literature where in every chapter somewhere or the other connection of Rama will be there, just to mention the gunas of a hero, why a person has to write nearly 24,000 verses. It only shows one thing, that is the depth of Rama, nothing else. Nothing else. Again and again in various forms, that is only getting revealed, and that is what Valmiki wants to show or focus. A kavi or poet, a kavya is usually not as big as we say Mahabharata or something. Kavya is generally relatively small, but even the small kavya here is such a big kavya only because of the depth of Lord Rama. The kavi or the poet has a theme to convey, and that he doesn't deviate from. That is what makes him a specialist. So you don't find in Ramayana to great lengths anywhere that Vedanta is discussed. Whether the world is Satya or Mithya, these concepts are not, or whether it is Dvaita or Vishishta Dvaita, that is all not indicated or discussed at all. Valmiki will know everything, but that is not the purpose for which he has started writing this. Whatever is to be conveyed, everything revolves around that, and the essential and important aspects are beautifully captured. Now, there is a this Sundara Kanda. Why it is called Sundara Kanda? All other kandas are very easy to understand with the name. Bala means childhood of Rama. Ayodhya Kanda means Rama staying in Ayodhya, that is Ayodhya Kanda. Up to Chitrakoot, another thing where he goes, that is Ayodhya Kanda. Aranya means forest. Aranya Kanda means the forest life, where Rama, Sita and Lakshmana are spending the time in the forest. That is Aranya Kanda. Kishkinda Kanda is about Kishkinda. Kishkinda is the empire of the Vanaras. Vali was the king first, and then he was defeated, and Sugriva was made the king. That is Kishkinda Kanda. Up to Sugriva is telling everybody to search in all directions, and the southward bound team consisting of Angada as the head, then Hanuman and Jambavan and Nala, etc. They go and they are there in the beach, and there they meet Sampati, the great eagle, who is the brother of Jatayu, elder brother of Jatayu, and it's saying that I can see Sita in the Ashokavana in Lanka. So somebody has to go and come back, and everybody is saying why they can't go, their inability. One says I can go up to only 20 yojanas, the distance is 100 yojanas. One can say I can go up to 30 yojanas only, that's right. Angada says I can go, but I don't know if I have the power to return back or come back. Oh, good, you said now only here. Because with out of enthusiasm you go and you find Sita also, then who is to come here? And so Hanuman is keeping quiet. And then Jambavan reminds him of his original power. And then Hanuman sets off to Lanka. That is where it starts. Setting off to Lanka from the Mahendra hill mountain, going, seeing, conversing with Sita and coming back. That's all. It happened in a day. It happened in maybe 1.5 days. That's all. This is called Sundara Kanda, and of course next is Yuddha Kanda, where war majorly happens. It's called Yuddha Kanda. Why this is called as Sundara Kanda? There is a shloka which says Sundare Sundaro Ramaha, Sundare Sundari Katha, Sundare Sundari Sita, Sundare Sundaram Vanam, Sundare Sundaram Kavyam, Sundare Sundaraha Kapihi, Sundare Sundaram Mantram. And what is not Sundaram? Kim na Sundaram. What is not Sundaram means beautiful. Here also when we go to Sundarban's forest, they give the reason as to why this is called. It is, yes, it's a very beautiful forest. That is, and they say Sundari tree is also there. So it could be various reasons, but definitely if somebody can visualize Sundarban's forest from above, or if you are able to see, it will be very beautiful with all its rivulets and mangroves and various things. It's very beautiful. Like that, what is not beautiful about this Sundara Kanda? So there are people who are dedicated to Ramayana, but people make it a point to go through the chanting of Sundara Kanda only. Sundara Kanda is considered very, very auspicious and holy. Okay, all this is very clear. The story is beautiful. Of course, Sita is beautiful. Hanuman is beautiful. And his mother calls him Sundara only. Another name for monkey is also that only. The Kavya is just beautiful. Each and every verse there is beautiful. Mantra and all, everything is beautiful. But here, it is also first given as Rama is beautiful. But very interesting in Ramayana is that though we said the whole story revolves around the qualities and gunas of Rama only, Sundara Kanda is the only Kanda where Rama doesn't come. He comes in the very end where Hanuman comes and reports to him. That is the only last 4 sargas or something he is there. Otherwise, Rama is not here. In all other Kandas, he is there as a central figure, key figure he is there. Here Rama is not there. The hero is not there. In this particular episode, he is not there. But the beauty is revealed when he is hidden. That is more beautiful. What is the beauty? What is the essence of Sundara Kanda? The essence of Ramayana itself, in one way we can say, is the ultimate surrender of the individual towards the Supreme. In various Kandas, in various ways, this is revealed. And the best of it is coming in full form in the last Kanda, Yuddha Kanda, where Vibhishna is going to completely surrender, which we have discussed before. Bharata surrender is there, Rishi surrenders to Rama is there. Rama surrenders to Sugriva in a way that he is going to give refuge to Sugriva, but he goes as though seeking the refuge of Sugriva in the Kishkinda Kanda. All those things are there. In the first Balakanda also, the Devas surrender to God to protect them, etc. Surrender is there. And the complete surrender of Vibhishna comes in the last Kanda, which satisfies every aspect of surrender is there. But Sundara Kanda, in essence of Ramayana, we can say, talks about the original nature of individual and the original nature of God in the deepest sense. Sita's surrender to Rama is what is very visible here. The main person in Sundara Kanda, Hanuman, who goes, travels, searches, has conversation and comes back, is representative of the tattva of Acharya or Guru. Rama represents the tattva of Paramatma or the Supreme Lord. Sita represents the tattva of Jiva or the individual. This Jivatvam of Jiva is not to be looked down upon. Now, we have studied recently also in Vedanta treatise classes when the last portion has come where Tattvamasi is there. Essentially, Jiva and Brahma, that is Brahman, is one and the same, is the heart of Upanishads. And this is established in the Upanishad by statesmen like Tattvamasi and Aham Brahmasmi. These are all called as Mahavakyas. Mahavakyas are the great statements, aphorisms, which strongly indicate the oneness of the individual and the Supreme. So, in essence, to the core, if you go, there is no differentiation between the Supreme and the individual at the level of consciousness. This is what is getting established, and this philosophy is called as Advaita. There is no such thing as second anything apart from Brahman. There's nothing else exists. You cannot count anything apart from it as second. There's no such thing as second. Just let it be there. Even the nature of Lord is to be there in union with the Prakriti or the matter, which is both Jiva and the Jagat, which is both individual and the universe. Yet the core tattva of the Nirguna Brahman remains as it is the heart of the Upanishad. This is what we study. So Adi Shankara and the other great masters in that lineage, they are questioning, if you take all the upadhis away, what of Jiva remains? How can you define Jiva at all that way? If you take the mind away, if you take the body away, if you take the intellect away, if you take every upadhi, the Karana Sharira and everything away from it, what of Jiva remains? Nothing. So essentially, it has to be that only. So when this question is posed, probably nobody has an answer for this. But the great Ramanujacharya, much later, he talks about, because he establishes what is known as the Vishishta Advaita. In Vishishta Advaita, the concept of the Jiva being part of the Lord is firmly established. You retain your Jivatva, but what you do is that you are in complete surrender of the Lord, you are part of the Lord, you are completely serving the Lord, doing bhakti to the Lord, being part of Him, and this is the ultimate state of the Jiva. So he boldly proclaims that which is the essential thing remaining in an individuality, which is like the property of the Supreme, in that state of refuge, when it is as it is, that is the essential nature of Jiva. In other words, bereft of all upadhis also, Jiva in its essential nature remains as the property of the Lord. This is a very bold and beautiful stance. The individual remains ever as the one who is seeking the refuge of the Lord as his property. Nothing else is there. So that way, if you see, now how we reconcile is, there's no issue here. As far as we are concerned, all of us consider ourselves to be Jivas. We have the individuality here. There's no shying away from it. With the statement of Mahavakyas and our sadhana, Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, etc., we are going to someday somewhere reach that supreme where we understand what that is and get enlightened. But that is not in our hands. That is why all the essential literatures, even in the Ishavasya Upanishad last mantra, Bhagavad Gita finally, Ramayana finally, everything culminates in what is known as this surrender. You can do only up to that point. Clear yourself of everything and take complete refuge in that supreme. It is that, and he says, Mokshaishyami ma shuchaha. I grant you liberation. Don't worry. What is that liberation? Let there be still debate at the intellectual level. But liberation is given by him. So Karma Paladata, Ishvara, the Supreme Lord being the Karma Paladata, is not only the worldly fruits. Ultimately, liberation also only he has to give. So what is the essential nature of individual as such, as a Jiva? Is to remain as it is. Nothing else. Is to remain as it is. Bereft of all the external paraphernalia, remove all those things, it remains as it is, as a property of the Lord. And what is therefore the essential nature of the Lord? The Lord is to give refuge, give protection, absorb you in Him. That is these are the most, he says, essential nature. It is the most swabhavika quality of the Jiva, it is the most swabhavika quality of the Lord. This is very clearly seen in Sundara Kandam. So, the Jiva Tattva, that is Sita, she is completely distanced from all the luxuries that Ravana has offered, all the material comforts, every other thing that can be offered to her also, but in a constant way she is only remembering Rama, nothing else. Nothing else. In fact, Ravana says that you be the queen, I'll be your dasa. That means the entire charge is given to her. She has not even a least bit of even thought or anything towards that side. Completely she is absorbed. So rather than being Lord of the universe also, I'll be Das of Rama is the stance that Sita takes. In fact, this Ramanujacharya says is the essential nature of the individual. Very natural, very essential quality of the individual is to be serving the Supreme, nothing else. You see, in general also, even those who talk about atheism and no God, etc., a time comes when there is a desperation, automatically they are invoking themselves that I do not know, I can't handle myself. They may not be trained to think in terms of a personal God or anything or a superpower, but somewhere beyond them the thought goes in search of something else. That is the essential quality. So all other things where we are caught up in, it is not really natural. It's not really natural. Though we say there is enjoyment in the senses, etc., at the end of it all, we ourselves are not satisfied in it. A state where you will find extreme satisfaction, extreme enjoyment, naturally without any effort. That is your natural state, and that state is attained by the individual only in this state, where it is in complete surrender. Where I am your Amsha, I am your Dasa, I am part of you, I have nothing of my own really. From the point of view of Jnanam, we may call this world as mithya, which is illusory, like a dream, falsity of the world. All this is correct, and we have also had many classes on this when we studied the VT. But the thought that the world is false and it is illusory doesn't stay within us even for a few minutes or few hours. It is not impossible, but just by going through the hardcore analysis of it and thinking about it is not going to take you to that state easily. Rather, if you are able to feel deeply about that Supreme in your own way, which is Upasana, which is the depth of Bhakti, which culminates in surrender, in that depth, the reality is revealed to you in such a way, automatically everything else becomes illusory. So Bhakti itself reveals it. So none of it actually touched or can touch Sita. In fact, that is why they are burnt later. They are burnt. And this knowledge burns everything is corroborated there. Later, Lanka is also going to burn. So this is essentially the Jivatvam of the Jiva, which is represented by Sita. And what is the greatness of Rama? He is a very, what is the Gambhir they say, in Hindi and some Gambhiryam. Sort of, I do not know the English word, to be...
It's a dignified.
Yeah?
Dignified.
Yeah, you can say. Very dignified, gravitas, a position where you cannot approach approach means he is very sulabha and very easily approachable, but you are really, by the contrast of his superior nature and his weightage in everything, You are very afraid to even go near him. It's like that is how he has been showing his character throughout. It is not that, again, he is trying to do like that. It is his nature only. He is so easy and you can approach and say everything, yet he maintains like that. This contrast of Rama, and we have again discussed that in detail before, so I am not going into it. That is what it is. But such a great hero, the way in which, how much he cries for Sita, probably this also is unparalleled in any other epic or kavya or anywhere in the world, that the greatest of all heroes is crying for the, you can take it from lover to beloved point of view, husband to wife point of view, all that is fine, or from the symbolic point of view, most importantly, the Paramatma to Jivatma point of view. This is very important message in Ramayana. As much as a prepared individual is yearning for the union with the Lord is also yearning in the same way that the Jiva should come to him. This is maybe given everywhere else also. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa also says that as the river approaches also, the ocean is waiting, wanting, and comes and embraces the river. All is said. But in detail, in so much of pain and anguish that Rama goes through, and these are all not just drama. See, this is a very sort of that it cannot be sort of reconciled at all. Nobody can doubt that Rama is a jnani, absolute jnani. He is Sita Prajna. Nothing can touch him. And yet, the way in which he laments, he cries, he goes through extreme anguish and pain. At one stage, Hanuman being a brahmachari, he says, why is he crying so much for that, for the wife like this? Hanuman even thinks like that for a moment. And then when Hanuman meets Sita, then he thinks, my God, how is Rama still alive? He should have died for such a noble. So that is the weightage of Sita there. Okay. So Rama is crying throughout, and yet at any stage, no master, including all the great Advaita masters also, can even think even 0.01% that either Rama is a jnani or he is affected or something. No, not at all. This is the beauty. So one thing is, how do we reconcile? Very easily, so you can say all this is a drama. He is the one who is creating the entire drama. In the drama, the director himself plays the part. He makes everybody in the audience cry. At the end of it, behind the screen, he says, see how I made them cry. He can have a great dialogue also with other person. It's all a drama. Understandable. And it's an explanation. It satisfies. But Valmiki doesn't show it like a drama. It is not like a drama. See, when the self-realized masters, even Paramacharya of Kanchi, who lived 100 years, is considered a Brahmajnani. When he is doing sincerely the pujas in the form of karma in the ashram, in the mutt that he is doing, is he doing the puja just to show an example to others as to how to do puja? Or is he having in the back of the mind, all this is mithya, but I am offering flowers like that? No, the puja is very genuine. Puja is very sincere. Whatever he is seeing, that once what happened, that they give prasad to the Lord and he has to offer it and then bring it back. It is a regular ritual and it takes only a few minutes. That day he didn't he shut the door and didn't come out for maybe 40 minutes or in a long time. Everybody were worried, and they saw under the door water is coming, so they were not knowing what it is, etc. Then later he opened and he said, what he was trying to do is, the prasad that day they prepared late, very hot, very very hot they gave here, that the sweet pongal or something they have made, and it's very hot. And it will not be very easy to cool it also. So he's using water and various other means. There is a pot of sweet pongal. All that you need to do is the prasad, you do the puja and other thing, give it back, and later you can cool it. No. When this is offered to the Lord, how you will offer to your own child at home, that care has to be taken. He is going to that detail to show who? He is a Brahmagyani. What is the necessity of all these things? So all these pujas and other things that he did is not really a drama or just to set an example or just for the sake of others. There was a genuinity and sincerity in it. That is undeniable. Similarly, Rama's lamenting or Rama's cries is just not a drama alone. That though you can understand that at one point, it is much deeper than that. Yet, there is a core of core in his heart which is untouched. Which is untouched. That is what is the Lakshana of Sthita Prajna given in Gita. Dukkeshu anudvignamanaha sukeshu vigataspragaha vita ragavaya krodhaha sthitadhi muniruchyate. He is established in that. Why Rama? Sita also. So much of pain, so much of grief, etc. She is also essentially established in that. So a person in that human form who is undergoing so much pain, etc., yet not leaving any of the duty, how he performed the war, how he was being patient with Sugriva, each and everything are extraordinary qualities. That is why every dharma you take it to the extreme, one step above that is Rama. You cannot even decipher that. So that Rama, how he longs for Sita is indicative of that the Lord is also equally waiting for us. More than anything. He is also very eager in that. And this is very clearly, you can say, indicated or shown in Ramayana. So the Jiva Tattva indicated by Sita is supreme. The supreme Lord Tattva of Rama is supreme. The connection between these two is the most important, which is the Acharya Tattva, which is none other than Hanuman. Hanuman alone can fill the gap there. Among all the families of Rama, if you have to point out to somebody as God who is worshipped separately, it is Hanuman only. Of course, in the Ram Darbar, Sita, Lakshmana, they are there. And the extended Darbar, Bharata, Shatrugna, everybody will be there. Not to deny any of their divinity. Hanuman, who identified himself as the Dasa of Rama, is worshipped as the Swami. In fact, in North India, there are more Hanuman temples than Rama temples. And wherever Hanuman temples will be there will be one Rama, definitely has to be there. Because otherwise Hanuman will not stay there. And wherever you build Rama temple, first they will think where we should keep Hanuman. So inseparable that way. So Hanuman himself is the Tattva, Swami, the Supreme, who is in the form of Acharya, who forms the link between the Paramatma and the Jivatma. What is his role is that he explains what that Supreme is to the individual or just expresses it. That's all he needs to do, nothing else. The Ramaduta means he is not a Duta to go to Hanuman, to Ravana. He is essentially the Duta from the Supreme to the individual. So what he does is that the Acharya, first he first he says the name of the Lord. First he says the story. So he narrates the Ramayana story sitting from the tree, right? Sita is very desperate and she is contemplating up to the point of suicide, because that was the first day that she spoke certain things to Ravana and in a very dismissive way. And then he says, I am giving you 1 month, otherwise I will finish you off, I will cook you. Like that he is threatened and gone. So she has taken to one extreme of it, and whatever she is contemplating at that time, you have to give solace. And Hanuman has all the qualities actually. There is no quality which is not there in Hanuman. And if you are worshipping Hanuman, you also derive all the qualities. That is what all the Hanuman sloka and all say. One of the qualities is that Vak Patutvam, what to say when. So it is not only that. Rama identifies this quality of Hanuman the moment he meets him first. Sugriva is saying somebody two are coming, he is afraid because Vali has sent somebody to again finish him off. That is his thought. Hanuman says, I don't think so, let me go and find out. When he goes in a different form and when he starts speaking, Rama is only observing him and absorbing whatever he says. And he tells Lakshmana, he says, he doesn't speak one word which is a wasteful word or a inauspicious word. There is Vedas coming out of his mouth. Therefore, be careful in speaking to him, he says. So, of course, Rama must be of that caliber to understand. Definitely, Hanuman is like that. And one of the qualities of Hanuman is that he knows exactly what to tell when. Even as the conference later is going to happen as to whether we can accept Vibhishana or not, the way Hanuman presents his case is extraordinary. That's a separate case study by itself. Not only that, when he comes back also, and first what he says in Valmiki Ramayana also it comes, and very greatly it's celebrated in the Kamba Ramayana of Tamil also, Drishta Sita. Meaning, Drishta means first he says Drishta, that means I have seen. So one who is waiting to get a reply as to whether you are seen or not, what is happening here, the first word that you say is seen. So that means immediate Shanti is there for Rama. Similarly, in the Tamil, same verses coming. Kandanan karpinukku anine kangala. Kandanan means I have seen. Contain. Who? The one who is representative of the chastity, who is sitting there, I saw her. Saw her is the first word there. So he knows what to say first. So when Sita is thinking as to, I don't have even somebody here who can, there is something to talk about Rama also. So he is narrating the story of Ramayana till that point. This is one of the full Ramayanas that comes there. So this gives confidence to Sita. Second aspect that the Acharya says, first is story, second he gives the Nama. The Nama of Rama itself, the Nama of the Lord itself is enough for your meditation to wipe off all your sins. Nothing else is required. And in Kali Yuga, when people are maybe having not that much power to do various sadhanas, the least you can do is take Lord's name. He gives the ring which has this Rama name. Then he is talking about Rama's Rupa, how he is. So the Acharya describes, and then further the Guna, the depth of the character of what that supremeness. Fourth, and most importantly, the fifth, he establishes in the individual what is the real relationship between the individual and the Lord. This is the role of the Acharya. So in essence, he brings the heart of Rama to Sita. And one thing which is invisible to us also the Acharya does is, he takes the individual's heart to the Lord. There what happens we do not know, but that's what it is. But various Bhakta Charitras and other stories are there, where if the recommendation of the Acharya is there, the Lord does not look into any other things. That's all it is. And that is the greatness of the Guru. When in Vibhishana decides to leave Lanka and come here, seeking refuge of Rama, Ravana kicks him out and there's no more point staying there, obviously. So he dedicates himself completely to Rama and rises above in the air. 4 other dedicated Rakshasas who are exclusively his assistants, they come along with him. All of them leave Lanka, and it is described as though the Pancha Prana has gone. The Prana of Lanka is gone now. When Vibhishana is standing there waiting to be accepted by the camp of Rama, so much of discussion and conferences and various things are happening as to whether we should accept him or not. And finally, there is the famous portion where Rama says, even if Ravana comes, I'll accept. Like that, he shows his true nature of being Sarvaloka Sharanya. Sarvaloka Sharanya means he is the refuge of the entire world. The entire world can take refuge in him, and he is the one to protect them. That it's a very natural stance for him, and he says that. What about the four others? We don't know even their names. At least Vibhishana, Hanuman has gone, seen. Who's the four people? Nobody knows. But for them, there's no inquiry, there's nothing. They are automatically accepted. Why? Because they have come along with Vibhishana. They have come along with Vibhishana. So, if you have taken the route through the Guru, your seat is guaranteed there. That sort of a thing. So, what is the role of the Guru is that he firmly establishes this link between the Paramatma and Jivatma. And that is why after Hanuman enters the story of Ramayana, it is only auspiciousness everywhere. So Rama, in fact, after he describes everything, not only that, such a person is one to whom you can open up. It is not just out of respect that you will open up to somebody, but out of extreme love. And Hanuman shows that in him. It is not like a Acharya who comes and only gives advice and instructions only. He has an extreme identification with both Rama and Sita. So to him, Rama says certain things which are only known to him and Sita. That much of confidence and that sort of a secretive things. And more importantly, Sita opens up and says certain things which are happened. The Kakasura story, that also is a story of surrender, that he says. So such a person is trustworthy, and he is the one who is going to take you to the Supreme. So you find that the Sundara Kanda essentially talks about this only. And not only that, from the point of view of symbolism, of course, it is some things are given in God Symbolism book also. As I said, each and everything is detailed, and you can keep on reading more and more lessons into it. Very many practical lessons are also there. Throughout Ramayana it is there, but here it is much more there. The three obstacles that Hanuman faces when he goes towards Lanka, it gives us a lesson that when you are on a mission like this, which is a very holy mission, when there is a man of purpose who is wanting to achieve something and it is a divine mission, whenever you undertake something like that, there will be obstacles in the world. And how you must overcome them, that is also shown by Hanuman. That is why it is just not an episode which happened many thousands of years ago. How it is relevant to us now in 20th century, in 21st century. That is important. So some obstacles will be friendly obstacles. You have to diplomatically deal with them. Somebody says, suppose you are saying, you are wanting to come to class 9 o'clock, some neighbor will come, hey, did you see this message, something they want? No, you can't say harsh things to them, they are your friend. At the same time, they are like an obstacle because they are going to delay you. You just see this match highlights, I'll come in an hour. You say something like that and you deal with them in an indirect way. That is what Hanuman did with that Mainaka mountain. Mainaka was his father's friend, and therefore he wanted to offer a rest and a place for rest to Hanuman, because where will you sit when you are flying in the ocean? But he said, I have important work, and then comes an obstacle which is as though God sent to test you. First is Sattvic, next is Rajasic. Whether you are really capable of doing this, or in the first obstacle you will come back, when there is something challenge you will come back or return. So she is opening her mouth in a very big way so that she is Surasa. And she asks Hanuman to enter the mouth. Hanuman says, all these games we can see later now. On the way back I'll do. She says, nothing doing, and she opens. So suddenly he becomes very small, goes inside and comes without touching her. And she then says, I have been only sent by gods to best of luck, all this. She says, this you have to use your intellect. You use your brilliance to overcome this. Then comes a real obstacle, Tamasik. Simhika. She is a demoness who can catch all the flying objects with the shadow. And she catches Hanuman. He is not able to move. He pleads, nothing happens. So there you have to finally finish her off. So there will be some people who are real enemies of your project. If nothing works, finally you have the courage and conviction to finish them off, because it is not my mission. That's what Hanuman says in the beginning when he is jumping, taking off from the mountain. Those words of self-confidence you will not find anywhere else. He says, I'll try and find out Sita in that Lanka, or anywhere else also I'll go and find out. If I am not able to find out, I'll break the whole Lanka and bring it here. This sort of extreme confidence he shows. Why? He says, because I am like an arrow from Rama. So that means he doesn't take the Kartrutva Bhavana of I am doing this. I am only an instrument in the hands of Rama. A person who believes in his strength is limited. A person who believes in the Supreme Lord's infinite strength, his strength is infinite. So all the other monkeys said 20 yojana, 30 yojana is like that. Hanuman's power is limitless because of this. So if that is there, you have to take that stance of impersonal attitude and finish off any obstacle finally. Certain obstacle will be there like to test you. You have to intelligently handle it. And friendly obstacle, you go along with it but circumvent it in a diplomatic way. This is the very nice lesson that we can derive. But it's just an episode that Hanuman crossed. Similarly, Ashokavana is described as Ashokavana. So a jiva who is doing extreme tapas is freed from the sorrows of the world, though the positive bliss of self-realization is not there. Ashoka is where Sita is there. And then a person who, for such a person, the senses are completely burnt. That is the burning of Lanka. Materialism and everything is completely burnt. So like this, you can take symbolism lessons also here. And various other small, what to say, like trivia. As we said, it is there throughout Ramayana, but in Sundara Kandam also, when I wanted to only show how Valmiki goes into details. When he lands in Lanka, that deity of Lanka is there in the form of a demoness who is the protecting deity there. You can't call deity, she is the protecting guard there. And she is stopping Hanuman. And she says, I won't allow you, and tries to hit him. So Hanuman then shows his real form, and he doesn't, she knows she is a woman also, but gives a blow like this. And that Valmiki describes as to how he gives the blows. He makes sure that the palm is completely inside, and with the left hand he kicks or hits like this, he says. No, why so much detail is given like that? Is that being a brahmachari, he knows this hand should not touch any. This is the hand, this portion is what will induce a sensual contact. Even to that extent, how his brahmacharya he maintains. To that extent it goes. And then the same Hanuman, when he sees thousands and thousands of ladies everywhere, where he sees in Ravana's palace and everywhere, and in various status they were there in the night, not for a moment he is perturbed here or there. That shows the greatness and brahmacharya of Hanuman. But once he lands there and from the mountain he sees the entire city, he says such a city can never be conquered. My God, so much of protection, so much of forts and castles and deep inside where Ravana is there. All this he is seeing from the mountain. And the ocean is there. How we are going to bring Rama, how Lakshmana will come and how the army will come? How are we going to win over Sita? It's an impossible task. Like that, for a moment his mind goes there. Then immediately he brings his mind back and says, what am I supposed to do now? I have to search. Let me finish that. All other things will happen one by one later. So this is a quality that we must adopt for any leader, any achiever, any successful person will have this quality. Taking up a task in hand and concentrating on that only at that point of time. Don't worry about what will happen, this will happen, that will happen. That will not make your mind enthusiastic, and you will feel heavy now only. The next task also you cannot perform. And then when he enters Lanka, Valmiki makes a very special mention saying that Hanuman placed his left leg first, left foot. And then the commentators are explaining, whenever any auspicious thing is done, right foot is what should go in first. Like how even in North India, the major ceremony of the daughter-in-law coming into the house, you see that the right leg should go. She kicks that rice or something and comes in. Everywhere right leg. But when you go to an enemy territory, left has to go first. Now why it is, we really do not know. But one person who was mentioning this, an Englishman heard this and he said, I really also don't know, but it makes all sense, because in our march past we always say left, right, left. Left, right, left only comes first. Whether it is coincidental or not, we do not know. But it is the left foot that is. So to such details he goes. One great orator and Pauranika in the south, he was giving a lot of lectures on Ramayana, and particularly Sundara Kandam. And he was going to give his 100th discourse. So she took that invitation and went to Kanchi to meet Paramacharya and to take his blessings. And in his own satirical and sarcastic way, but with full of compassion, Paramacharya always helps only. So he asked, oh, you are saying Sundarakanda, great Acharya you are. So what is Sundarakanda? Then he knows something is coming. So he was saying whatever he knew he was saying. It's where Hanuman goes to meet Sita and come back, etc. Oh, okay. So Hanuman went to Lanka. What did he do? Where did he find Sita? He found Sita in the Ashokavana. In Ashokavana, which was the tree in which Hanuman was hiding? He knew by heart everything. So he told, it's, I do not know in Tamil or Bengali what the name is. It is mentioned in Ramayana as Sinshubha Vriksha. And Paramacharya has shown that also in South India. It will be there. Sinshubha Vriksha is what is there, and Hanuman is there. So then next question he asked is, why did he hide there? Why did he hide there? He was stumped. He didn't know. So he was saying, to such, why Valmiki would have said that somewhere in some tree he would have hidden or anything like that, but he particularly said in this tree he was hiding. There must be a reason. Then he said, you go and find out that tree and come, and he said the location there. You go and find out about the tree and come back, he said. So this person went, not necessarily in Kanchipuram, somewhere else it was there. He went and came back after a couple of days, and he said, I saw the tree. What did you see in the tree? He said, well, describe the tree. The tree itself was of a generally different color from the other trees. Most of the trees are green. When you see that leaves of the trees are green, this tree, even in the seasons where it will be lush green, it is showing its original color of being golden. It's a golden colored tree. And he says, you know what is the color of Hanuman? Kanchanadri Kamaniya Vigraham. Kanchana means gold. Kanchanadri means a golden mountain he was. He has gone as a spy. That spy must not be seen by anybody else. He has to hide himself in such a way that he is camouflaged and not easily seen. And that is why he hid himself in Shimshubha Vriksha. To this extent it goes. Can you imagine? This is just one sample. But like this is what is full of Sundara Kandam, full of Ramayana it is. So he says, to that detailed, so he said no, in the Sundara Kandam when it is video pause moment or the slow motion, this is what it is. Each and everything goes into detail like this. And then as finally the revealing of himself to Sita, how we said that, how he says about the Lord and slowly takes the doubt of Sita, because suddenly how somebody will come here, and he may, since Ravana had already come in some other form, he might come in some other form, Sita may have. How a person should slowly clear off the doubt in a person, give confidence in the person, like that it is. And Sita shows her Matrubhava or motherhood and says, I don't know what I can have, but whatever trees that are here, fruits, take rest and say. He says, I will have to go quickly now since the job is over. This is another important feature. It would have been nice also had he had taken one more day's rest. Nothing would have altered. But Hanuman was of such a caliber that whatever he has come for, once it is finished, it has to go. But he has to meet Ravana before that. So he made sure that the entire thing is destroyed, because then they will automatically take him to the... So you will find that the entire Sundara Kanda is like that. And again, when the fire was lit in his tail, it had not touched him at all. It was the whole Lanka was burning, but it had not, the heat had not touched Hanuman. That is grace of Sita only. And he was also concerned finally. My God, I kept fire everywhere. What about the Ashokavana? Sita was safe there. And finally he rushes to the Vanaras. Then they have a jolly good time because their mission is accomplished. And then he goes to Rama. And Rama says, I can never ever repay Hanuman. I can never ever repay Hanuman. What can I give now? It would have been very simple if Hanuman had asked for something, because Rama had the power and he would have given anything. Hanuman will not do that. Hanuman remains as only the Dasa. And here also finally the greatest thing that he can give, he gave to Hanuman, which is very rare in Ramayana. Only Sita has got, only Lakshmana has got maybe. Now, unlike Krishna Avatara, in Rama Avatara, what is rare is the embrace of Rama. That only Hanuman got. Only Hanuman got. And there also, Hanuman did not embrace in such a way, though we see pictures like that. There also he was only completely accepting. The Lord sort of was defeated by Hanuman in that acceptance, they say. And what finally Hanuman says is very interesting. It is exemplified in the Tamil Ramayana. He first puts a namaskar towards the direction of Sita, because Rama is asking, tell me, and he explains in detail again. He once says to the Vanaras also, now says in detail everything. He puts a namaskar towards the south direction where Sita is there. And in this portion, Kambar is the one who wrote Ramayana in Tamil. It's again a very voluminous and big literature, one of the greatest literature of Tamil. Nearly 10,000 verses of 4 lines each, so that comes to 40,000. This is 24,000 into 2 is 48,000 in Sanskrit. It is nearly 40,000. Such a big kavya is Tamil Ramayana. In that portion he says, finally, I'll read that in Tamil. Unkulam unnadaki uyarpugalku oritiyaya tankulam tannadaki தன்னை இத்தனிமை செய்தான் வன்குலம் கூற்று கீர்ந்து வானவர் குலத்தை வாழ்வித்து என் குலம் எனக்கு தந்தாள் என் இனி செய்வது என் நோய். He is talking about the greatness of Sita, He says Kula means the same. Sanskrit kulam only. Kula means family. Unkulam unnadaki. That means she is maintaining the dignity and prestige of Rama's Kula, which is the Ikshvaku dynasty, by maintaining herself there. That is understandable. Because by maintaining that, she is worthy wife of Rama, and Rama and all his ancestors, forefathers, and further everybody is protected and saved by her. Tankulam Tannadaki. She has maintained the dignity and prestige of her own family, which is Janaka, Mithila's family also. That is understandable. And whoever made her into this position, which is Ravana, his family is already destined to go to Yama. That is the power of Sita. In fact, various places she says, I can, in that same Ramayana only says, Hanuman says, come with me, I'll take. With my power, the chastity of Sita, she can burn the whole of Lanka. But he says that proper thing is what Rama should come and take me. And this is the essential aspect of surrender. When you do surrender, you don't do anything. You leave it unto Lord what has to be done. Okay. But already she has been the cause for now the destruction of the entire family of Ravana. Then finally, he says, this is also understandable. This is the most important line. Yen kulam yanakku thandal. First time he is meeting, Hanuman is meeting Sita first time. And he says, Yen kulam yanakku thandal. Yen kulam yanakku thandal means my family she gave back to me. My family trait she gave back to me. And this is a critical line subject to various interpretations. She blessed monkeys. Like that. It can be taken that way. But not that. What is the trait of a monkey? The trait of a monkey is to be fidgety, astira and chanchala. It will not be in one position. It will not be steady. That is monkey. That is monkey. Mind is monkey. Monkey is mind. Like that is. So monkey's mind, you can know them. But what happened to Hanuman once he saw Rama? He became fixated. He became fixated that this is what it is. He is the Lord, nobody else. That sort of a fixation came in Hanuman's mind. Fixation is not the way of life for a monkey. Now first time Hanuman, once he has met Sita, now again it has become fidgety. What? Which of the two is superior really? This or that? That sort of a Astira and Chanchala face has come back to monkey. So my original trait is being fidgety and movable, that state. That state she has given back to me. This is probably the greatest praise that can be given to Sita. Anjaneya Matikatalanam, Kanchanadri Kamaniya Vigraham, Parijata Tarumula Vasinam, Bhavayami Bhavamana Nandanam, Yatra Yatra Raghunatha Kirtanam, Tatra Tatra Kritamasta Kanchalim, Bashpavari Paripurna Lochanam, Marutim Namata Rakshasantam. Okay.
Poornam Adah, Poornamidam, Poornat Poornamudachyate, Poornasya Poornamadaya Poornamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.